Green Bay appropriately drafted a lot of players, I think is the way to say this. Green Bay was a team that kind of let the draft come to them a little bit here. Again, I think Belton, another offensive tackle that was relatively overdrafted, but again, 2 picks before Trapilo, so we're talking about after the run of offensive tackles already happened. Whatever. I also like the John Williams pick at 250. John Williams is a pretty good player. So I like that. Colin Oliver is a DPR, man. He's going to bring some juice. He very much is like Preston Smithish. And they just traded Preston Smith. And so I kind of like that pick there in the 5th round too.
The Belton pick is just so weird for that team specifically that has had very specific guidelines and thresholds at the offensive line position. And that is specifically not monsters. And if Anthony Belton is one thing, it is an absolute monster at 6'6", 340 pounds. I think I like him a little bit more than you liked him, but in the back end of round 2 is a little bit high for me. What is not high for me, and not high for you, I would say that you think it's appropriate value. I think it's appropriate value, although the way that you talk about him, it feels like he is even better value than the 23rd pick, and that is Matthew Golden. They needed a dude, like a legit dude, because I think that they have some really good wide receiver talent. But to get that legitimate, that guy who can legitimately be a ball winner, a ball hog, a target hawk, that is what they needed. And I think that that's what Matthew Golden can be for them on the outside.
Yeah. So here's the thing about Matthew Golden. I love Matthew Golden. Again, any listener of this podcast knows that. But I love Matthew Golden in a context where, like, I don't know if he's a dude, but like I envision Matthew Golden being like a Jordan Addison type pick where a team had a dude and they went out and got that guy a compliment. And Matthew Golden could be that, like Jordan Addison to Justin Jefferson kind of player. The Jackson Smith and Jigba in a room with DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett kind of dude. He's going into a room with Jaden Reed, Romeo Dubs, Savion Williams now, Christian Watson. Like, does he have a skill set that he can produce when he is going to be the primary guy who's going to draw attention in that wide receiver room? I envision Matthew Golden as like, I love this guy. Like Houston. Houston would have been an unbelievable landing spot for Matthew Golden where they have Nico Collins, who does take that attention. Like, that's the kind of role I was like, man, I really love Matthew Golden as a Z in an offense like this. I don't know if I love Matthew Golden in a wide receiver room full of Z receivers. You know, like that's where I struggle. I think the value is appropriate here at 23. What he's going to be asked to do in that wide receiver room, to be the guy in that wide receiver room, that's where I like. Ugh.
I don't mind it because
for like George Pickens, then like sure.
This is an offense that doesn't really care. They're going to spread the ball around anyways. They're not gonna force feed. It's not going to be like the Dallas Cowboys with Dez Bryant and Dak Prescott early on. But first of all, Jordan Love's going to do whatever the hell he wants to do, anyways. But it's not the type of offense that is going to force feed the ball to a single wide receiver. That's just not the way KOC works.
I get it, and I get that.
Or KOC, Matt LaFleur works.
Matt LaFleur. But we both know that Matthew Golden's not a 2.9, like a 4.29 guy. Even if that's what he ran. But
Christian
like
Watson is.
saying, like, how does he win? How does he win at the NFL level? When?
What do you mean? How does he win? We spent the entire year talking about how technically sound and how shifty he was.
But he's not
his ability to separate.
Separator, though.
He was
an elite. I think he's refined, and I think he has that like subtle touch at the top of routes to create a little bit of cushion.
Yeah, that's what you need.
But we're talking about him like he's a Garrett Wilson level player, like a Garrett Wilson level route runner, a Garrett Wilson level separator.
No, Garrett Wilson was
more of a Jared.
Garrett Wilson was a top 5 talent.
I know, but like he's going to be asked to be a Garrett Wilson type player.
No, he won't.
See, I kind of disagree with that.
Why would he? He was the 23rd pick, not the 10th.
But he's going into a room where he's the best receiver in that room, where he's going to be asked to be the best receiver in that room.
Oh, okay. That's fine. It's a room that has spread the ball out and hasn't cared who the number
I
one.
think that's
We
fine.
we we can't even tell over the past couple of years who was the number one, and they're still making the playoffs. That offense is still efficient.
Yeah, but everybody knew they needed a wide receiver.
Sure. It doesn't mean that he's coming in and people are gonna expect him to be Justin Jefferson.
No, I'm not expecting that either.
I mean, he was
I don't
picked
know,
picked
man.
after Jordan Addison. Jordan Addison was a 22nd pick.
He was, but Jordan Addison went to a team that had a dude.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is, at 22, you're not asking them to. I mean, you are asking him to be the dude, but you're not asking him to be the dude. He's not Jamar Chase. He wasn't drafted to be Jamar Chase. Just flat out.
Right. I would
It's
still
fine.
feel confident if this team had a ball winner, like a down the field ball winner.
He is a downfield ball winner.
Man, we're missing each other on this one.
We're
We're
not.
missing each other on this one.
How often do we talk about him at
I
5'10",
Yes.
5'11", and his ability to go up and get the football? We
I
talk
want
about
him
his
to be a
refinement. We
Z
talk about his
complement
ability
with
to
a
take the
guy who
ball
can
away
go out
from
and just
defenders.
win at every level.
So I don't understand how I've all of a sudden become the
I
defender of
know.
Matthew
I
Golden
know.
here.
I know. I feel like I'm saying this as clearly as I can as well, and I don't know if I could articulate it any
No, it's just something that we're going to disagree.
Yeah,
I
we're
think
just
we
gonna
just
disagree
disagree on how much pressure is going to be put on Matthew Golden in Green Bay, because I just don't think I just don't think it's this impossible task for him to go and catch the 65, 70 passes in year one.
No, I think 65, 70 is realistic.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, they're going to spread the ball out. He
Well,
doesn't
that's the
need
expectation.
he doesn't need to take 150 targets on this football team.
My stock went down on him as well when he chose the number 22. So,
Well, yeah, that's tough. Hopefully that'll change. And we